Fucking dear God, I hope. I fucking hope.
We'll see. We'll see in due time.
Anthony, do you like my new shirt?
Sure, man. It's cool. Could have been better.
What was that?
I said it could have been better.
You want to fight about
Yeah,
it?
I do. Let's go, chump. Hold on a second. We don't need to fight.
We don't?
All you need to do is go to 86.com and choose from one of their many designs. Franchises ranging from Skullgirls to Street Fighter and even BlazBlue. And if you check out 86 through this Twitch channel, use 86.com/AFF4 to let them know that Mission Star Podcast sent you.
All right, so rounding out our next news story is going to be the one and only Alex. So, Alex, what do you have for us for today?
So, mine is all about something we've talked about here a couple of different times before. I'm going to be talking about loot boxes, microtransactions, and pay to win. It's something we've covered plenty of times. I'm the only one that came with an article, not from a gaming news website, by the way. This is from jdsupra.com.
Okay.
Oh, literally, I'm going off the beaten path to bring this shit to you.
Fucking like car forum? Like what the fuck?
No, it's not a car forum. It is not a car forum. It's honestly, it's an investment in law website.
Oh, okay. All right.
It is what it is, guys. This is where I found the information. It's what's going to happen here. So, this article is specifically dealing with the controversy over certain video game features like microtransactions, pay to win, and loot boxes. This is coming from it not from a fan perspective, not from players or developers or anything like that. This is literally the nuts and bolts, legalese business side. That's it. Which is kind of why I like this, because it's totally off the beaten path. It's not something anybody is really going to be getting into, because most gaming sites don't want you to look at the legal sides.
Yeah, so pretty much there's like no bias going into this shit.
Yeah, there's literally no bias here. It's literally these are the facts.
Financial.
I'm not going to read the entire article because it is pretty fucking long. But the majority of the idea behind it is, that there is a lot of things going on right now with microtransactions, specifically concerning loot boxes, and the fact that, so many companies are doing that, and you have governments literally around the world looking at them going like, isn't that gambling? They actually bring that up right now. So, for example, they say all three of those things, pay to win, microtransactions, and loot boxes, those have all been concerns in the gaming community for years.
Yeah.
I think all three of us can agree with that.
For sure.
Yep.
So this is, so they're, they cover on it very broadly of like, here's a little bit of background, blah, blah, blah. And then they go into the nuts and bolts of the loot box controversy, where we've gone back and forth on this one, where it's gambling, it's not gambling, it's gambling, it's not gambling. They literally give you the traditional definition for gambling in this article, which I love, and I'm going to read it to you.
Okay.
Traditionally, gambling is defined as an activity in which, 1, a person risks something of value, on 2, the outcome of an uncertain event, with 3, the opportunity to win a valuable prize. The Entertainment Software Association, ESA, the largest video game industry group, has responded to the gambling charge by asserting that because the virtual goods have no cash value, loot boxes are not gambling. I'm going to pause my going through this article, because there is more.
Because
I want us to touch on this right here.
Okay, so because there's like definitely a fucking gray area with that, because the fact of like, okay, I have Overwatch right now on my screen.
Mm-hmm.
I could fucking buy some fucking loot boxes.
Yes.
Spend money on loot boxes. And
so
like,
here's the thing: they're
of
saying what you're buying and what you get out of those loot boxes has no monetary, has no cash value, whatsoever, which is technically true. And let's be honest, technically true is the best kind of true.
Yeah.
But in this particular case, you can also go and buy most of those skins, and it has a value on that. There is literally a cash value on that.
I'd also, not play devil's advocate, but like, I would also say, like, what would you say a value is? Like, do people, when they buy loot boxes in Overwatch, do they see that the skins are of what value that they can receive it, even though they're not, and it's hosted on a server? If I went and say that this watch has value to it, and I sell it, like, just get it in the degree, like, what would you see as value to you?
Okay, let's look at it this way.
Okay. Here, hold on.
For their example, I want to get.
Hold on, 1 second.
Go ahead.
Okay, because from what you were saying, right? If you look at CS:GO, that was a really, really big thing, to where you can get certain skins and like knives and like whatnot, like whatever else, right? And the whole thing about it is the monetary value is dictated by the community of gamers who are actually playing it, right? Like, okay, this skin is fucking cool. This is a rare.
It's worth X amount.
X amount.
Yeah.
And then it creates a economy within the game for these items, to where you have tiers and like whatnot, and then it goes off of that.
Mm-hmm. Well, so yes, so that is an example of it. That's a perfect example of it. So as far as the fact that skins can have value in some way, shape, or form. So obviously Counter-Strike, it would be involved in all this because they do loot boxes as well, and that actually allows you to sell those skins off. Overwatch doesn't. But let me put it this way, Anthony, I have a bottle of water right here. It has no monetary value because it's just a bottle of water. Is this worth something?
No, it's not worth anything unless
it's not worth anything.
Yeah.
So I can literally just go to a store and grab one of these because it's not worth anything, right?
Okay. I mean, like, yeah, it's $2 maybe or $1.
Well, but that's the point. Like, it either has value because you paid for it, or it doesn't, and you can just grab it for free. Like, it's one of the two. There is a value for something. Period. What's another example? You have people who literally, back in the day, bought World of Warcraft accounts. Not to throw it back to the game because the Classic came out, which is something I'll cover another time. Yeah. But people literally, I could have sold my original World of Warcraft account back in Burning Crusade for almost $2,000.
Well, even then, you had people in the Halo 3 days that would sell accounts that were level 50.
Exactly. So, like, they're saying that there's no actual cash value to this. Yes and no. It's not actually valueless because, one, they already set a price to it.
I got you.
And two, it holds value to somebody.
Absolutely.
It does hold. So just because it has no cash value doesn't actually mean it's not valuable. Because if I had every skin in the game on Overwatch, I could then sell that account for money.
Yeah.
Because of those skins.
Yeah. That makes
like to be honest with you, I love Overwatch. And if somebody was like, hey, I have this account with all skins, $30. Fuck yeah.
So
yeah, fuck yeah.
So,
it doesn't have a set cash value, but it does have a cash value.
Exactly, and you're totally right because like it opened my mind. The company may say there's no cash value, but the people playing in the community around it says it does.
Boom. Exactly. There you go. Exactly. And that's what opened up like the black market for Rocket League. Yes, there's actually a black market for Rocket League. Go figure. Like all these games that have skins and achievements and all these limited stuff, they actually, even though they don't have value, they have a value. The market will set that value.
Here's the whole thing. His thing is like what I said earlier. The community dictates the value of these items.
I'll take it one step further. I'll take it one step further. I have a $20 bill here, right? $20, right there.
Yeah.
How much is this worth?
$20.
Why is it worth $20?
Because they dictate it.
But no, because it's not because they dictated it. It's because all of us as a society or a group say that this is worth $20.
Yeah.
That's the only reason.
That's
it's
true.
not even backed by gold anymore. It's not even backed by gold. Don't use the gold or the silver standard. It's not backed by anything other than our faith in this dollar.
That's very.
I got a dollar.
How is he's got a dollar? How is this any different than me saying, "Hey, I've got a skin that I'm willing to sell you. It's super rare. It's stat tracker. Here's the skin. It looks super cool. $100. How is that any different than saying that that bill is worth $20?
Absolutely, it's the same if you go to another country. Like like if you're dollar and you go to, let's say, Indonesia or Canada or Japan, your value of that dollar may not be the same when you enter that country. It may not be worth the dollar there at the country and how much value that has versus what value you have. So yeah, man, fucking A, Alex.
I just blew your fucking mind, didn't I?
Yeah, shit.
Well, see,
Damn it, Greg, I wish you were here. I want you to be here so you can be wrong.
It's okay. I'm going to call an audible after this for my next part, but yeah. Go ahead, Roman.
So, it's like what you were talking about is like, okay, have you guys seen the fucking NBA 2K20 shit?
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
It's outrageous.
It's fucking blatant fucking gambling, dude.
Mm-hmm.
And it's so fucking...
FIFA's the same.
Yeah.
Like, those sports games, when they do it, they get really, really bad with it, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
Which actually segues very nicely into my next part. So, the next part of this article...
I'm gonna dip for a second. I'm gonna use the bathroom real quick.
Yeah, all right. Whatever. So, the next part of this article, it's fairly long. There's 2 paragraphs here. At least 2 paragraphs I'm going to read. I'm going to keep reading until I think I'm done, okay?
Okay.
So, in May of this year, Senator Josh Hawley, Republican of Montana, I believe that is, along with co-sponsors, the Democratic of Kentucky. No, sorry, not Kentucky. That is, I don't know, CT. I don't know what the fuck CT is. What state is that?
Connecticut?
Is it Connecticut?
I believe it's Connecticut.
Okay. We think it's Connecticut. The Democratic of Connecticut, Richard and Edward Markey, Democrat of Massachusetts, introduced S1629 entitled, oh god, this title sucks, a bill to regulate certain pay-to-win microtransactions and sales of loot boxes and interactive digital entertainment products and for other purposes. Fuck, guys. First off, get a better fucking title. The bipartisan bill would prohibit publishing or distributing any pay-to-win microtransaction or loot boxes in minor-oriented games, or in any game that game publishers or distributors has constructive knowledge that any users are under the age of 18. The bill implicates several issues with which the casino gaming industry is familiar, including participation by minors, compulsive behavior, and regulation of gambling-like features. The bill describes a broad variety of factors that define a minor-oriented game, including the subject matter, visual context. They did that really weird. Visual context is what they put in there. I think they meant context. Music, age of the characters, celebrities under 18, or celebrities that appeal to individuals under the age of 18, advertising materials, or any other evidence that the game targets those under 18. Pay-to-win features and loot boxes would be classified as unfair or deceptive acts or practices under the Federal Trade Commission Act, FTCA. And the prohibition would be enforced by the FTC and state attorney generals. Finally, the bill calls for reports to Congress by the FTC regarding its enforcement efforts and a study on the use of prohibited gaming features within 2 years of enactment, including psychological effects of the prohibited features and compulsive purchasing behavior. Passage of the bill isn't in its current form isn't very likely, to be fair, but because a similar one was introduced to the Senate floor, or to the Senate, was introduced in 2018 in Hawaii, but failed to get anywhere.
Yeah.
So here's what that kind of breaks down into, guys. So first off, last time we discussed this, we did talk about minors, how you determine, if a game's for a minor, if the game's not for a minor, like how do you really go about doing that? Well, we just got the breakdown of what they're looking for, and that's literally the first time I've ever seen that anywhere. So they're looking for anything that appears to be marketed towards somebody 18 years of age or older, or if they know or have a working knowledge that people of 18 years of age or less play that game. So if they know people 18 age or less, Halo, World of Warcraft,
Overwatch.
pretty much anything not rated M. Pretty much anything not rated M would be hit by this.
Yeah.
So everything, because in M's they can say, oh well, it's mature, it's 18 only, it's on there, not our fault. That's fair. Though I think mature ratings might be 16 and up.
I believe
No.
it's 18. Is it 18?
Yeah.
Okay.
17.
Okay. So technically,
So
Even then, like,
you could make the argument that M could kind of skirt this law. You could make the argument, especially because that's not an official rating. They could just be like, M is 18. Fuck off. So it kind of sets that to the side. It's no longer like they just point to a game and be like, Doom, you're selling to minors. Nah, bitch, Doom is not meant to be sold to minors. If somebody is selling that game to a minor, they're in violation of that, and they need to be reported to the fucking ESA. That's just how it is.
Yeah.
So I like the fact that we actually have that. They're looking at pay-to-win transactions and loot boxes are not allowed to be in anything minor-oriented for a game, which is a fairly broad context that they put in there. Which is, especially when you get into like celebrities under 18 or celebrities that appeal to individuals under the age of 18. That last one is kind of a sticking point to me because Leonardo DiCaprio could be in there. Keanu Reeves, perfect example. Keanu Reeves could be in Cyberpunk.
Yeah, that's
Keanu
true.
Reeves definitely appeals to people under 18.
Yeah.
By this law, Cyberpunk would not be allowed to do any kind of microtransactions, pay-to-win microtransactions or loot boxes. Also, pay attention to the fact that they say pay-to-win microtransactions. They're not getting banned from microtransactions, guys. They're only being banned from pay-to-win ones and loot boxes. They can still sell all the cosmetic shit that they want.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's
Not stopping them.
that's the loophole.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
like,
it's
here's-
not stopping them.
Well, see, here's the whole thing, right? It's like, okay, so for like me, right? Love Overwatch and shit, but the thing that's crazy is like I need to get like a lot of these skins from loot boxes and like whatnot, right?
Yep.
If they gave me the option to be like, okay, you can put in like $20, you get so much gold, and you can buy whatever fucking skin you want, I'd do it. I would definitely do it. But then you have other games where like that isn't a fucking option.
Yep.
It's gambling. You like roll a fucking dice. Like, what do you get?
Well, like I'm perfectly fine with like, hey, I'm gonna throw down $10, get a couple boxes, and see if I get what I want. And if I don't, fuck it, I'm gonna throw down another $5 and just buy the skin.
Yeah.
As long as you give me the option to directly go to it and be like, I just want this one thing, I don't care about the rest.
Yeah.
And that's I think many people are asking
But the whole fact, it's just dice roll after dice roll after dice roll.
And I will say that more companies have definitely been laying off of it. Like there's definitely been a trend, and for good measure, that more game companies are laying off of microtransactions of any form. Hell, every time not all of them. But we've seen
not
all of them. But
most AAA titles nowadays come with some kind of microtransaction attached to it.
Yeah.
Most AAA titles.
Yeah, dude.
Now, granted, a lot of those AAA titles are coming with literally just pure cosmetic microtransactions, but they're still coming in strong with microtransactions of some kind. Now, if you want to say they're kind of scaling back the loot box thing, I'd agree with that to a degree. There are some companies, EA, that are doubling down on this shit.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Like they're just like loot boxes are in trouble. Double down. Fucking dip into it hard right now while we know it's legal.
Yeah.
NBA 2K20.
Yeah. That's a prime example. Like what I was saying is like not all companies are going to be going away with it. There's definitely some like EA they're gonna definitely double down on it. But like, there has been more of a trend, and for good measure, of game companies staying away from microtransactions or loot boxes for that matter, because of the legal precautions behind it. It even gets to, let me finish thought. It even gets to the point where some game companies has it as a bullet point in their game when they announce it or show it off and say, we don't do microtransactions. Yay! Like an actual bullet point.
Half the time that doesn't.
No. Yeah.
76. No microtransactions, guys. Okay, microtransactions, but they're only cosmetic, guys. Okay.
It's still.
Well, we're gonna go ahead and give you repair kits. That way, it's not pay to win, guys. It's just shortcutting a game mechanic. The scrap kit. It's a convenience thing. It's just a convenience thing, guys. Now they literally have a knife. That's a weapon that you buy.
Yeah, it's bullshit.
It's a full weapon out of the microtransactions, which is exactly what they promised you'd never have.
So Anthony, what is the game? Like, give me a couple examples of games that have said that and have stuck to it.
AAA games.
Oh, fuck.
It cannot be indie games because indie games are a breed all unto themselves.
Yeah.
And most of them won't even touch loot boxes with a 10.
And then most of them are just getting money because Epic Games are just buying their.
Yeah, Epic Games are just throwing shit at indie games right now. They don't need loot boxes. They have Epic Games. They're gonna suckle at the teat of Epic Games.
All good.
Bless them.
I'm gonna show my my unjournalistic card here and say that I would not know off the top of my head, because like
here's one for you. How about Path of Exile? Nope, that's got loot boxes in it. You know how I know? Because a woman actually had to reach out to the company that made Path of Exile and ask them to disable the loot box feature on her account because she was spending too much shit.
Wow, that's
She's spending too much money in the game. She literally reached out to them and be like, please disable my account from being able to purchase loot boxes, and they did it for her.
I mean, like, hey,
props to them for doing it for her, by the way.
Okay, so for me as like a gamer, I am all good with buying shit. Fine. If I love the game enough, I'll buy skins.
They trained us to buy shit with DLC. Let's be honest, Raven.
Yeah, you're right.
They trained us with that shit with DLC.
You're right. And then so DLC and then grew into these like little things like skins and like a weapon, like whatnot.
Shit that you used to get for free when you pre-ordered.
Yep. Yeah. Exactly. But I mean, just like a gamer like now, the way I am like right now, I'd be down to put down like $5 to buy like a couple of skins of characters like I really like in like a game. Cool. But the thing that pisses me off is this loot box shit. Like, if you're gonna put it out there, let me fucking buy it.
Yep.
Let me fucking buy it. Don't fucking jerk me around with these fucking loot boxes, these random rolls, and like whatnot.
Or I can come up with a happy compromise, I think.
Okay.
Compromise is, and some games do this. There's a couple games that do this. You cannot double up on your loot boxes. So, say you already have this skin, but you buy you buy like specific loot boxes for a specific skin. You can't get that skin again because that's not cool. You get a different skin. You can get something you do not own. Yeah,
so every single time you roll, you're guaranteed
it's something new. Exactly. Yeah. So it may take you. So let's say there's 100 games or 100 different things you could get out of the box. It may take you 100 loot boxes to get every single one, but by God, you're going to get every single one.
Exactly. Yeah. And you know what? I mean, it sounds kind of dumb. It sounds like a lot of money spent, but if I was that hardcore into getting something new every time, I'd do it.
Especially if it goes along the same path of like Overwatch, where you can get some free boxes too. So they'll dribble you along with some free boxes here and there, and then they have their specialty boxes that come out. I would like to see the Overwatch specialty boxes only be for those skins personally, but that's me.
Yeah.
I think it would be a lot better if Overwatch, if they didn't do that, they at least went to the you can't double down on shit you already have out of these boxes.
Yeah.
Just because they're limited edition stuff, guys. Come on. Throw us a bone here.
But even then though, okay, we're talking about this, right? But we're using terminology of gambling.
Exactly. So, for those of you who don't know, and I've covered this before, I used to work at a company called Alpha Draft. Alpha Draft was a a company that was designed around doing FanDuel or DraftKings for esports. That company was purchased by FanDuel. Literally, the entire company got purchased by FanDuel. I had been on a call with the president, with the CEO, the owner of FanDuel, like one of the big ass execs.
Mhm.
Company-wide meeting. Everybody's on this conference call, right? I heard this man bend in so many different ways to avoid the word gambling because they were currently undergoing lawsuits about it being gambling.
I remember that. Yeah.
Like, I don't know how those lawsuits ended. I'm not in that industry anymore. I talk with some of the guys from Alpha Draft every now and then. It's a great group of guys. I think Alpha Draft and FanDuel, while they are gambling to a degree, they are also a game. They are a skill game, but it's a skill game of chance. Because it is a skill game of you crunch these numbers and you will know who's probably going to be the best. The part where it comes into chance is, are they on their A game? So, I don't know if I personally would call it gambling, but it's right up on that edge, at the very least. Yeah. If it's not gambling, it's right on the edge of it. It really is. And that's kind of the defense they try to use of, like, it's a skill-based game, because they would show, like, the people who normally win, like FanDuel, like the big Super Bowl one, like that at the end of the year where it's like, you know, the winner takes $1 million or whatever.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert, guys, those are all math nerds. Every single one of them. Some of those guys, literally, they develop algorithms to do number crunching for them. They feed stats in. They literally get down to the point of, like, they have stats for these guys of playing in the rain, of playing in the snow, with high wind, no wind, altitude levels, like dome, no dome, AstroTurf, regular grass, like the whole 9 yards gets calculated in, spits out a spreadsheet for them. They then just pick off that spreadsheet.
Yeah.
That's just how those are the guys who win. Like, these are not just fans of football. Occasionally, you'll see one of those guys where he's like stereotypical jock guy who won big, but it's usually some nerd. Honestly,
that's true.
So
that's fucking true.
It's a numbers game. It's card counting.
Yeah.
There's no better way to put that. Honestly,
absolutely.
Going back to gambling terminology.
Yeah. So, and by the way, I'm not done with this article yet.
Yeah, no, let's.
There's more to this article. So,
let's go.
The next part is, so although the legislation is stalled right now, the FTC has been actively investigating loot boxes and their impact on children playing the game since 2018. As part of the investigation, the FTC held a workshop this month entitled "Inside the Game: Unlocking the Consumer Issues Surrounding Loot Boxes," and is currently seeking public comment on the impact of these game features. Which, if you don't know, that means go to the FTC website. You can weigh in as part of the general public. Let your voice be heard.
Yeah.
Hopefully they don't do what they did the last time with the fucking net neutrality, but whatever.
Yeah.
Timed to coincide with the workshop, this is something we covered last time, the ESA issued a press release this month stating that the major game publishers and platform operators, Sony PlayStation, Microsoft Xbox, Windows, and Nintendo, will, by 2020, voluntarily disclose information on the relevant rarity or probability of obtaining randomized virtual items in their games.
Yep.
Keep in mind, that only applies to games released after that policy goes into effect. It does not involve anything currently out on the market.
So that means, like, we're not gonna we could possibly not get the numbers on Overwatch or NBA.
No, you won't.
Or anything.
Well, here's the thing though. Overwatch, Activision Blizzard isn't in there. It's Microsoft Windows, not Activision Blizzard. So they're not in this at all.
Wasn't Blizzard in that? I remember reading the article and I posted in the group.
They might have been. I don't remember. I'd have to look it back up.
But see, the whole thing about it is, though, is like, if you put out those numbers, though, like, what is it gonna fucking change?
I mean, that when they do it in China for Dota, like they
do this in all mobile games.
Yeah,
every mobile game has this.
Yeah.
I kid you not. All of them have this in their mobile games. So usually, like, the super rare stuff is like a 0.01% chance. Like, play a gacha game. Literally open up any gacha game on the market on your phone. I don't care which one it is, any of them. You go in there, look at it. 9 times out of 10, you will find the percentages for the pulls for whatever type of stars, because they rate them by stars in gacha games. Whatever star level you want. So it's one of those things, like, this already exists in a form And mobile games are ahead of the curve on this one. Go figure.
Yeah, it's basic. You're basically what you're doing
Which is why-
is you're taking away the mystery of like what you could get to the point where, okay, this is the percentage of what you can get on this pool. Doesn't completely tell you exactly, you know, 1-to-1, like if you get this pool, like you're gonna get this.
No, it'll tell you like you have a legend, like for Blizzard, for Overwatch, legendary skin chance is 0.05 or whatever.
Yeah.
It won't tell you that you have a 0.00001% chance of getting the legendary Mei skin that you're looking for.
Yeah, it gives a better perspective as far as like what you're getting. It's not a complete fix on the whole thing, but I guess
And I did find the article. It is Activision, Blizzard, Bandai Namco, Bethesda, Bungie, Electronic Arts, Take-Two Interactive, and Ubisoft. Ubisoft and Warner Brothers, along with Sony, PlayStation, Microsoft, Xbox / Windows, and Nintendo.
Yeah.
And this is by the end of 2020, not by the beginning.
You think those platforms will enforce it? Specifically the big three?
I think that's what they're going to have to do, because if they want any kind of trust on this type of issue, they're going to have to enforce it. And honestly, the coding isn't that difficult.
That's
literally,
true.
it's literally just pull back the screen, and literally on the screen for purchasing the boxes, you can say, here's your percentage chances.
It's true.
That's it. That's all it is. You're literally just showing a percentage chance. Those chances are already dictated on the back end anyways. You have to program them in.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I don't see how that would be
People
really
like-
difficult to do.
Yeah. Yeah. We're living in crazy times, guys. We're living in crazy times. Yeah, it's
Like I said, that was a really long article.
yeah.
No,
you broke it down pretty well. Like I think there's definitely a lot of information. And I just
That one you really have to dig into. Like I said, that's an article that was really cut and dry. There's not any kind of opinion in there. It's literally just, here's the facts. Because honestly, guys, if you want news on the gaming industry and like what they're doing, what kind of regulations they're looking at, don't go and look at the gaming industry websites. Like, don't look at Kotaku and Game Informer stuff and all that crap. They're not going to give you a breakdown that is not biased in some way, shape, or form, because that is their industry. It's no different than, don't ask a politician for an opinion on what his voting record is. He's going to give you what he wants you to think.
yeah. True. Very true. No, the man speaks truth.